What if I told you that our favorite K-pop couple of the year could have shared a ton of kisses in the movie? I know it seemed like there was never time for them, and that's why I'm going to share every single moment that they could have just kissed, from their flirtatious meetups in the dark of night to the public banter as well as heated moments between them. This is going to be romantic to talk about. Like and subscribe because I'm about to let you in on all the sweet and emotional bits that could have become the kiss of the decade. This first moment was when the Saja boys appeared at Huntrix's fan signing and Rumi suggested that they sit together. Jinu sat beside her and told her that he didn't think she liked sharing, and she answered that she loved sharing. I don't know about you, but there was something 50 shades darker about that scene. The way he leaned closer to her while laying out his questions, and she began folding under the pressure of his aura and questions. Sheesh, it made me tickle. In my head, I kept screaming, "Kiss, kiss, kiss!" But sadly, none of them went for it. And to show that I wasn't the only one that saw that spark, a fan came up to their table for the signing with a shirt that had a picture of Rumi riding Jinu. I mean, Jinu taking Rumi for a ride in the cloud. Oh my god, it just keeps coming out wrong. But you know what I mean. Anyways, the second time those two should have kissed was during the bathhouse scene. Rumi pursues Jinu like he was a chicken that jumped out of its cage. The passion and vigor with which she chased him, it was nothing short of seductive. The way she was jumping and attacking and Jinu kept dodging. I half expected her to throw her sword to the side and catch Jinu by the collar and give him the hottest kiss in the world. Hot enough to melt the honeymoon. Haha. But I'm not joking. If any of you have the Twilight movies or the originals, you'd know that violent scenes like that sometimes lead to very passionate moments. This next kiss should have happened during the second late night meetup. Rumi had invited Jinu for a meetup, and Jinu got there first. He was waiting for her while complaining about how she said she wanted to meet, and yet she was late. By the time he turned to the side, he saw her on the fence, which he was relaxing on. He freaked out and jumped back. Now, hear me out. I can tell you two different ways this scene could have gone that would have ended in a kiss. The first is this. When Rumi appeared so silently, she knew Jinu was definitely going to be horrified when he turned. So what she would have done was kiss the poor boy instead of nearly scaring his soul out of him. And the second, let's say she actually scared him like planned and he jumped back. She could have caught his hand to make sure he doesn't trip and fall. And that small gesture would lead to some eye staring and eventually a kiss. But hey, our girl's got no game. Next up, we have another moment during the fan signing. Jinu was telling Rumi why he was helping Grima, saying Grima had promised to take away his memories and the voices in his head. Rumi called him pathetic and he whispered into her ears, saying that she can't even talk about her patterns. Now, let me draw you a scenario here. If I was in line at a grocery store and the lady behind me whispered into my ear something as casual as, "Can you please move forward?" I'm telling you, I would have goosebumps. Like, every hair on my skin would erect. That was basically what happened with Rumi and Jinu. But Rumi stomped his feet instead of capitalizing on the moment. Oh dear me, that girl is after my mental health. This next moment felt like something straight out of a K-drama series. It was during the bathhouse scene when Rumi was hiding her demon markings from her friends. She was panicking because she was so scared they were going to see it. But then Jinu suddenly caught her, embraced her, and spun her around. To make matters worse, everything moved in slow motion. His eyes looking into hers like they were the most beautiful thing ever. I'm sure a lot of you have never been looked at like that. And they both just let such a moment go to waste. They didn't think of even sharing a tiny little kiss. For the sixth moment, I'm going to go with the second late night meetup. Rumi offered Jinu the bracelet that an elderly woman had given to her earlier, but he was hesitant to take it, so she was about to walk away with the bracelet. But Jinu grabbed her hand, preventing her from walking away. She looked back at him, and there was love in the air. For my fellow K-drama fans, you can all attest that such a moment is perfect for a kiss, but they looked too long and let it become awkward. Back to the bathhouse scene. After Jinu used his claws to tear off the sleeve of her shirt, Rumi kicked him down and backed him into a corner. She tried taking his head off, but he held the sword. And I'll tell you this, the amount of grunting, eyes flirting, and staring going on in that scene was electric. Their faces were so close, and all they had to do was kiss. But they didn't. I just face-palmed. I wish you could see the disappointment on my face right now. It is annoying. At number 8, it's their third late-night meetup. After they were done with their plotting and conversations, Rumi was about to leave. But all of a sudden, Jinu called her back. At that moment, I had hope. I thought he was going to confess his feelings, walk up to her, and kiss her. But he betrayed my hope by saying something completely unnecessary. At number 9 is something a lot of people find spicy, but I think it would have been perfect. The very first time they met. Remember it? When Rumi saw Jinu walking towards her, it seemed like time slowed down. You could already smell love in the air. Sure, he knocked her down, and that would have been the best opportunity. What Jinu should have done at that moment was to catch her, and with her in his arms, looking like a damsel in distress, a kiss would have happened. Or even if he didn't want to catch her, he should have helped her up when she reached for his hand. That would have triggered something delicious inside her that would have created an atmosphere for a kiss. But he refused to help her up. It's like two of them just keep sabotaging their chances. Hopeless. The 10th moment they could have kissed was during their first late-night meetup. During this meetup, Jinu tells Rumi the story of his past, how he was forced to leave his family behind and how he couldn't forgive himself for that. It was a very emotional story, and we could all see that Jinu was being very vulnerable right there. He then concluded by saying that he and Rumi are similar while taking tasty steps towards Rumi. They were so close to each other, but Rumi raised her sword and divided them like Moses did the Red Sea. The next moment really annoyed me because it was perfect and they messed it up. It was their third late-night meetup. They sang Free together, held hands, and even flew into the air like love butterflies. But that wasn't even the climax of it all. As they finished their song, they faced each other and held both hands, and the moment was perfect. It was primed, and all they had to do was take it, but they just let it slip away from them, like petals in the wind. And lastly, it's Jinu, the moment Jinu sacrificed himself. It was a moment that was going to seal everything. They knew they weren't going to see each other again. He had literally saved her, and it never came to their thoughts to just kiss. Gosh, those two are disappointing. I just keep imagining it, and the closest scenario I can think of is this. Your partner going off to war, you're not sure they will return, and you two don't even share a kiss? Really? I am honestly out of words. Anyways, that's all for today, my lovelies. Be sure to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.